Hello, in this video I want to demonstrate the use of Git and GitHub on Tuffix. Git is a version control software tool. What this does is maintain history of changes. File changes are committed like checkpoints in the timeline of your program's development. You can roll back these changes to a previous checkpoint, or you can sync these changes across multiple computers or collaborators, such as partners in your class, with these history of checkpoints. For this demo, I'm going to assume that you already have a GitHub repository that was provided to you, either by a school project or you started one with the GitHub website. So here we have my first project for data structures. I'm going to clone this entire repository to my Tuffix computer. So I want to click on the cloner download. You're going to want to use HTTPS. For reasons I won't get into, I'm not able to use this. I have to use SSH. You're going to copy the link, and we're going to go into our terminal window. I'm already on my desktop. This is where I'm going to save my folder, but you can save this wherever you wish, as long as it's accessible. I'm going to type in the following command: git clone, and then I'm going to paste in that link. Again, I'm using SSH, but you should be using HTTPS. When you enter in your HTTPS, it will ask you for your username and password. This is the username and password for GitHub. Now if I type ls, I'll see that there's my project 1. You can see it here on the desktop. I'm going to open up Atom, and we can see all the files in there, including that README. The README is displayed here and is a common file in Git repositories. Right now we have 2 names here. They're just placeholders. I'm going to add my own name and email. I'm going to save it, minimize that, and I'm going to go back into that folder, into the terminal, navigating to it, and I'm going to type in a few core commands for Git. The most basic one, besides the git clone, which you should only have to do once, is going to be git status. Whenever you don't know what to do with your repository, git status is a good general use command to tell you what to do next. Right now, I have changes that I saved to the file, but they haven't been committed to this history in the Git repository. So even though we have them saved locally, they're not synced up and ready to be committed in this as a checkpoint. So right now it says changes not staged for commit. The README file has been modified. We should add these files, as it says, to update what will be committed. So let's do that. Git add, and then I'm just going to put the path of the file, which is right here, readme.md. I'm a bit lazy, so I'm going to start typing it, then I'm going to hit the tab key to autocomplete. There we go. There's the file. I'm going to hit enter. What changed? It doesn't look like there was any confirmation. Well, if we type git status again, it says, hey, these changes are now ready to be committed. See how they're modified, but they're in green. Changes not staged for commit, changes to be committed. Alright, so what's next? We have to commit these changes. To do that, I'm going to type in the following: git commit -m for message. So git commit is a command that commits these changes and makes a checkpoint for us. So the -m specifies a message is going to be provided to just kind of identify what this checkpoint is. That way we can easily read the message, the commit message for each of these checkpoints and roll back to them if we wish. So I'm going to say I modified the README file. Now this message has to be in quotations, so it's a good idea to enclose it in the double quotation marks. I'm going to hit enter. And since this is the first time I'm doing this, it's going to actually post this little message. It's not going to let me commit these changes until I've set some global properties in the git config file. And I can do that with these two commands, git config. I have to specify my user email and my username. My username is just my real name, the name I want to go by. My user email is going to be my email that I used for GitHub. So I'm going to enter in my school email. All right, and then my next command will be my username. All right, now that we've done these two commands, let's try rerunning that git commit -m modified readme command. I'm going to press the up arrow a few times to cycle through my last few commands that I've run in this terminal. There we go, press enter. And look at that, we've modified the readme. Again, I'm going to type git status to see what to do next. Alright, your branch is ahead of origin master by one commit. This might be confusing. You can have many branches in Git. You can have multiple different timelines of these different checkpoints. Master is the default one. Origin master is the same timeline, it's just whatever exists on the server. So even though we've made these changes locally, we have not pushed these changes out to the remote server hosted on GitHub. So if I was to refresh this page here, we'll see that this has not changed. It still has the old README file. We still have 3 commits from before, and we're still don't have our changes synced up. So back to the terminal, I'm going to follow its advice and say git push to publish our local commits to the remote server. Again, it might ask you for your username and password, and again, it's just your GitHub username and password. Now that we've pushed it out, let's refresh this page again and see what happened. Look at that, it has our changes. And now we have 4 commits. If I type git status again, it says our branch is up to date with origin master, nothing to commit. You might ask, when is a good time to make a commit message? When is it a good time to make this, this checkpoint? And I would say, just as a general rule of thumb, anytime that you do a good chunk of work, something that's like a clear, hey, I added something of value to this program and I want to go back to it. You can have as many commits as you want. It's not a problem. So it's never a problem of I've done too many. But it can be a problem, especially if you're trying to roll back changes that you didn't make enough checkpoints. So, you know, feel free to be judicious with your commits. And that's the end of the video.